There are so many different weapons in Vermintide 2, and it's not entirely obvious which ones are good and which ones are bad. So in a live stream, I went over all of the good weapons in the game, talked about how to build them, and also how to use them. I'm giving you weapon combos. The video is quite long as is, so I will just get into it. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the video, and let's hop into the video. The main ones to pay attention to are these values up here and dodge distance, and effective dodge can also kind of matter. So, and what you'll notice with the rapier is like, okay, none of these cleave values are crazy, but they're good enough. And this armor damage isn't crazy, but it's good enough. But the fact that it is so good at blocking and the fact that it has such a large dodge is what makes it good. And it's also just ease of use, right? Like, it is so easy to sit here and fight a horde like this and just not take damage. Relatively easy to hit headshots too. And one of the main things you'll see as we go through these weapons is that most of them are pretty fast. Being slow as a weapon in Vermintide is a death sentence to your viability. Okay, so rapier is just like the kind of a cookie cutter weapon that is good because it's got a little bit of everything. It's just it's really versatile. Doesn't really exceed at anything in particular. Okay, so I'm also going to show crafting how to build these weapons. So now, as I said before, most 90% of the weapons you craft are going to have crit chance, block cost reduction, and swift slaying as the trait. Now, there are exceptions to this, and we will go over them in this video. But yeah, with rapier, it's one of the standard ones. So you just run that, and you should be good to go. And you definitely want this crit chance with Witch Hunter Captain. I should probably explain block cost reduction too. The main reason you want block cost reduction is that it makes it so you can tank a monster, and also you are just way safer. Your stamina is a really important stat for you to have, and block cost reduction makes it so you can retain that stamina more. And yeah, being able to block a boss, just sit there, block and dodge is really important, which staying alive is more valuable than any damage stat we could put on this. Okay, that's rapier. Other than rapier, I would say Saltzpyre's best weapon is also the billhook. These two are kind of equal. It kind of depends. Billhook is only as good as the player using it. If you were a really good billhook player, then you're probably going to outperform a rapier. You're going to provide more stagger to your team. A little difficult to use because there's a lot of different weapon combos, right? Like, just to give you an example, you have several options for killing elites. So you have weapon special, heavy, light. You have heavy, and you can also just do light, heavy, right? So, and the thing is, like, all of these combos are good in different situations. So you really have to know what you're doing with the billhook. And also, when you do this stab, it leaves you like wide open for a minute. Okay, so I'm not going to go over every single combo for the billhook because I remember when I was doing Captain Series, somebody literally made a like 10-page Google document on all of the billhook combos and like what's optimal with it. So I'm not going to go over it all. I would say the ones that you need to know is that for horde clear, it's push attack light. And then once you start to run out of stamina, you can just spam light for a little bit until you get your stamina back. But push attack light is way safer than just light 1 and light 2. So you want to do this when you can. And I would say if you're learning billhook, the best anti-armor combo to use would be the weapon special, heavy, light. It's not the easiest combo, but if you master this, you'll start to understand why the billhook is good. Again, that's weapon special, heavy, light. And then if you want to get real crazy and do a boss combo, so this is like the optimal boss damage combo is heavy 1 and a quick swap, which if you don't know, one way you can reset your weapon combo in this game, or your combo that you're in, is by quick swapping twice. So you're basically swapping to your range weapon and back really fast. So if your quick swap button is Q, then it looks like you let the attack go and you press Q twice really quick. And there's a little bit of a rhythm to it. But anyway, that has insane boss damage if you're able to do it consistently. I usually just do both heavies for bosses, unless I'm like really feeling it. Okay, so yeah, billhook and rapier are going to be the best for you on Witch Hunter Captain, Bounty Hunter, and they're good on Zealot, but Zealot can make really good use out of Axe and Falchion just because of his high attack speed. And like, honestly, if you're fighting a mixed horde, like you're fighting a bunch of Skaven slaves and there's a few storm vermin in there, you can spam lights and hit headshots and you'll probably do a good job at killing both the trash and the elites. So that's one way you can do it, but also like your actual horde clear combo on Axe and Falchion is push attack light. Then anti-armor is you can either chain heavies Or I like doing the first heavy and block canceling to reset the animation. So to a new player, I would say like push attack light for horde clear, and then like just spam heavies for anti-armor. And you can't get away with just spamming lights fighting a mixed horde. So make sure you hit your headshots with that overhead axe, and then boom, you're killing storm vermin. Okay, so then with warrior priest, I think his two best are the flail and shield, and then the great hammer. Tome and hammer is good as well. But so for, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to go over I think I'll go back through and do all the builds, like the builds for the weapons. Okay, so flail and shield is really good because you can sit here in your heavies and just spam them and kill an entire Skaven patrol. The important thing to know is that these attacks, they ignore shields, which is really important in some situations. Especially when there's a lot of shielded storm vermin, they can be a pain in the ass to fight. And being able to just do this and kill them is really nice to have. So with flail and shield, you have two options for horde clear. You can either do that, you can just spam heavies. You could play the entire game just spamming heavies with flail and shield and you'd be fine. But if you want a bit more involved horde clear combo is to push attack light. Another push attack light. That's a pretty common combo. Actually, I think it's 3 lights. Light, push attack, light, yeah. So push attack and 3 lights. Yeah, and then for anti-armor, like, I think your best bet, you could do like light 1, light 2, and that's gonna do good against storm vermin. But against chaos warriors, honestly, I would recommend just pulling out your other weapon, like the great hammer. So the important combo to know with the great hammer, especially for warrior priest, is the anti-armor combo, which is light, heavy. And man, this combo fucking rocks, dude. You feel like a god when you hit that overhead. It feels so nice. It does a ton of damage too. Okay, and then horde clear for the great hammer is heavy, light. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Heavy, light. There we go. Okay, I'll briefly go over Tome and Hammer as well. So Tome and Hammer kind of sucks at horde clear. Like you could just like do push attacks and like kind of do this, but like that sucks, man. So you mostly only want to use Tome and Hammer for armored enemies, but you're not going to do a lot of damage by doing this, but you can do a lot of crowd control to a horde by charging your second heavy. So here, let me show you what it's like without it charged. So light, heavy, light, charge, heavy, light, hold, heavy. Another way you can do it, if you just want to get one off, you have it charged before combat, which by the way, I'm doing this by holding my weapon special key. For me, it's my mouse button. You can have this charge and then quickly just do light, heavy. And boom, you have some pretty on-demand crowd control. Okay, I think that covers most of Saltzpyre's best weapons. Dual hammers are pretty good on Warrior Priest too, but I'll go over the dual hammers with Bardin. They're the same weapon. I think Flail gets an honorable mention on Zealot specifically. Okay, let's go over builds. Let's start with... Okay, yeah, as I said with Rapier, you want to go your standard crit chance, block cost reduction, and swift slaying. Pretty straightforward. Nothing special going on there. Same thing with the bill hook, your standard array. I'm gonna just call this the standard array. I know that's not what an array is, but that's what I'm calling it. Axe and falchion, again, it's the same. Block cost, crit chance, swift slaying. That might be the same for all Saltzpyre's weapons, to be honest with you. Flail and shield, even though Flail and shield is a shield weapon, you don't really want to take opportunist on it because you don't have like the shield bash heavy. So generally, this should be crit chance, block cost reduction, swift slaying is going to be pretty good on flail and shield. Same thing with the hammer and tome. The main thing you need to know for warrior priest too is that you don't have to have block cost reduction on both of your weapons. So if you wanted, you could run block cost reduction on your flail and shield, but then on your great hammer, you could have crit chance and attack speed. And I would say swift slaying. I actually need to change that like right now. Let's see, can I kind of roll this correct? Come on, give me crit chance. Give me crit chance, attack speed. Warrior priest, my goat. He is indeed the goat. In fact, I would say he's our goat. Come on, give me attack speed crit. No, riveting stream content. Come on, you know you want. Is this what it feels like to be a Gamba streamer? Or like a gacha game streamer? I'm sitting here rolling things like, oh yeah, oh what if I get what I want? Okay. But yeah, for the great hammer, you could run like crit chance, attack speed, swift slaying, because you don't need to run block cost reduction on both weapons. You just need to make sure when you're blocking, you need to take out the flail and shield. Okay, now Kruber has a lot of good melee weapons. I will go over ranged weapons later. Ranged weapons will be separate. Kruber has a lot of good melee weapons. I think I'll just start with the Mason Sword. Mason Sword has a lot of good mobility, has 15% dodge bonus, pretty good options for cleaving, and also pretty good options for staggering. And you need to know that these heavy attacks hit twice, right? Like there's 2 damage values for them. Like the game actually treats it like you're using the one-handed sword and the one-handed mace together, which is really cool. Horde clear for Mason Sword is push attack light light. Again, this is another one where you can kind of get away with just spamming lights because these mace light attacks, they have a lot of stagger. I hope you create a little bit of space for yourself. And also, if you happen to be running second wind, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend, you'll get some THP from it. But I would say best horde clear combo is push attack light light. And for elites, you're using heavies. Make sure you're hitting the head. These heavies can kind of suck on armored if you're not hitting the head. Okay, and you can also use the heavies for horde clear as well. Well, if it gets super dense and you have swift slaying up, you can use heavies. So you have options. Mason Sword is one of those weapons where you're running the standard array, crit chance, block cost reduction, swift slaying. Another really good Kruber weapon is the Bretonnian Longsword. Now, there's a bunch of different combos you can do with the Bretonnian Longsword. And they kind of change if you're playing Grail Knight, if you're running a particular talent. But I would say generally, Horde Clear. Hey, what's up, Gabe? Horde Clear for Bretonnian Longsword is either light light or light heavy, or it would be heavy heavy block cancel. I like... Now, the funny thing is technically, with the Bretonnian Longsword, this first light attack has the most stagger. It's your best horde clear attack. So what you could do, if you wanted to be super sweaty, is just like spam this first light. I kind of hate that though. Now your go-to anti-armor combo is push attack heavy and then light heavy. So that push attack starts the combo, and then after that it's heavy light. Yeah, that's Bretonnian Longsword. Like I said, there's a lot of nuance to this because you can chain a lot of these into each other. I really like the way the Bretonnian Longsword works. Yeah, push attack heavy light. And it's another standard one. Crit chance, block cost, swift slaying. The problem with Kruber is like most of his weapons are good. It's like, which ones do I go over? Probably the most well-designed weapon in the game, depending fun factor. Yeah, I would say it is probably my favorite like weapon design in the game. I wish there were more overheads in Vermintide. Like, these overheads feel great to hit, man. Every weapon that has one, you're just like, yeah, that's it. Like the Saltzpyre's Great Hammer, man. I would say with no DLC, Executioner Sword actually goes really fucking hard on Mercenary. The problem with Executioner Sword is like it's slow, right? But on Mercenary, you have access to a lot more attack speed. Like you get swift slaying and pace strikes going, dude. Like you're chopping hordes apart. And then the overhead is like I think is actually the strongest heavy attack in the game. Yeah, X Sword. And so Executioner Sword is really simple to use. Horde Clear is just lights. Like you can throw in a push attack if you want, but it kind of sucks. I would rather just do a push and then light, not do a push attack. And then for armored enemies, you want to do the heavies. You can chain the heavies together. They're the same attack. I like the feel of just doing the first heavy and block canceling though. Totally up to you though. I like it because I can kind of reset after the attack. It's like I'm dropping a nuke and then resetting. Okay, that's Executioner Sword. Another one is Halberd. Now Halberd is kind of like the billhook in that it is only as good as the person using it. I am not the greatest with Halberd. There's a few combos you need to know. Horde Clear is... You want to start by just spamming this first light. So light, block cancel. And then once you have swift slaying, you can do light heavy. You want to wait for swift slaying because this combo is pretty slow and it leaves you wide open. And you don't have great dodge distance with the halberd. So you want that attack speed for this horde clear combo. And you don't even have to necessarily do light heavy. You can just do this the whole time. Spam the first heavy, spam the first light. Now where things get interesting with the halberd is the anti-armor combos, because there's two. There's push attack light light, which is really good DPS, and then there's heavy light, which is this kind of pinpoint long range heavy like anti-armor combo. Great. So this is one of the longest range attacks in the game, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, look how far I am away from this. I'm still hitting it. Interesting. I think the heavy has a longer range. So what you want to do is kind of use these depending on what range you are at. If you're able to sit behind an Iron Breaker and you're fighting a Chaos Warrior and just poke him from really far away, that's really safe. You're getting a lot of damage off too. Yes, this first heavy has really good modifiers for boss damage as well. Like you headshot with this, you're gonna nuke a boss. And then once you get close, you're using push attack light. Now you can actually combo these together too. You could start by doing heavy light and then doing push attack light, or you could push attack light, dodge back, heavy light. So it's fun that they, especially if you're starting with push attack light, it chains into heavy light. So again, like there's some nuance here. You're really playing with range with the halberd. Halberd's not a great weapon if you were like solo frontlining, but it is good if you have like an Iron Breaker or something with you. You know, somebody that is really just able to stagger everything in front of you. That's where I think halberd gets some really good value. Halberd is standard build. I have attack speed for some reason. It should be crit chance. Oh my god, all of Kruber's weapons are good. I don't want to go over them all though. My voice can't handle that. Mercenary has... What? Mercenary has an extra 5% crit? I didn't know that. So it would be 10% base crit? What the fuck? Why? Oh, it's one of his perks. Okay. I never even would have... It's just like he's a frontliner. I'm stunned. Like, why does he have extra crit? Okay, well, I would say sword is like A tier. On modded, it's S tier for sure, but I don't know. Okay, let's do sword. No more laughing now. Yeah, that's right. That's to proc the big cleave weapons of slaying. Yeah, they're all slow. Okay, another good weapon for Kruber is the one-handed sword. It's another one where you can just spam lights into a horde, even when you're fighting mixed horde. And if you're hitting this overhead, this third light, you're headshotting a Stormbringer with that, you're gonna be able to clear a mixed horde. And I think that's like the best use for the sword. If you want to get down to nitty gritty, like your horde clear combo is push attack light light. You could also do heavy heavy. I like that less. That's really only if like everybody is overlapping DPS and it's like a super dense horde. I like how fast this is. And then now here's the thing, your anti-armor combo with the one-handed sword kind of sucks. It's heavy heavy light, which is kind of like Dookie, right? Because of how slow it is. Oh, heavy light. Interesting. Okay, so you have a lot of options. Okay, so horde clear could be either push attack light light, it could be heavy light, or if you want to just like have a ton of stagger cleave and a ton of damage cleave, then it's heavy heavy. Let me check the stats on that. Yeah, they have the same. Actually, it's not that much better than the third light. Is the third light the overhead though? Yeah, it is. Light block cancel? No way, is that what like people are actually doing? I know like people use this in modded a lot. That's why I'm like push attack light. So you have a ton of different combos you can do. But again, the main thing, I feel like that's the main learning curve, is learning what combos to do when. Again, a standard build for that one. So I'll go over shield weapons here. Shield weapons are different from the others. I'll just do Mason Shield since it's my favorite shield weapon. For shield weapons, your main objective is to control a horde with stagger, right? So a lot of the time when you're fighting a horde, you're just gonna be doing a push into a heavy. And by the way, this heavy attack, heavy one, has infinite cleave. It will hit no matter, as long as it's in your hitbox, it will hit it. So that's mostly what you're doing against a horde, is this push, heavy. And honestly, like, if things get real awkward with the Mason Shield, like you could spam this first light, but I don't even like that, right? Because your other option for anti-armor, and this is good for anything really, is push attack light. It's a really fast combo, and this light attack after the push attack has extra crit chance. It doesn't cleave very much, but it will help you in situations where you have the shield and you're like, everything's really trickly and you don't have a really big slab of meat to hit with the first heavy. But yeah, but what you really need to get down with the shield weapons is this push into heavy, being able to do it fast. Okay, and then yeah, push attack light. And now when you're building shield weapons, it's gonna change depending on the class you are playing, because what you want to do is hit breakpoints with these properties. So for example, I'll use Foot Knight as an example. With Foot Knight, you want on the Mason Shield, you want 20%, or sorry, you want 20% total power versus Skaven. So 10% on the shield, 10% on the charm. And that way you'll be able to push Plague Monks out of the flurry. On shield weapons, you're always going to want to run Opportunist. That's going to enable you to hit these stagger breakpoints. Now, if I remember right, Opportunist, it's not just push strength increased by 50%. I think it's just like stagger strength. Okay, Spear and Shield, another great one. Horde Clear is mostly just going to be light. I mean, you could throw in the first heavy in there, here and there, if you wanted to. You could do like a push into heavy light, but like you can always default back to light, block cancel. I mean, you could even spam lights too and like try to headshot a Storm Vermin with that stab. It really doesn't add that much time to your combo, but also I like being able to just do push light. Now for anti-armor, Spear and Shield, you want to do push attack heavy. You can do push attack heavy and get this third heavy in there, but the thing is that is really slow, and it's gonna do, like, this does good boss damage too, but again, like, dude, you leave yourself wide open when you do this. So for that reason, I like to either do this push attack over and over if I got stamina, or do push attack heavy. Okay, now I need to talk about like which of these are actually like the best. I'm not fucking sure, dude. Most of Kruber's weapons are good. Mason Sword is really versatile. One-handed sword, also very versatile. One of those weapons that is better with your skill level. Halberd's the same way. Really good if you are good. But then on Mercenary, you can just run Executioner Sword and annihilate hordes, and like this heavy is one of the best heavies in the game. And then, you know, shield weapons are kind of over here on their own. They have more of a niche use, right? Like on Foot Knight for staggering everything. On Grail Knight, they are a great way to get your temp HP back if you're running Second Wind, and also just create some space. And then for Spear and Shield, like you run this on Huntsman, you're running Second Wind, you can just like, you know, you're in the back line, you're shooting rats, and then, oh, you took a hit, you can just run up to the horde and push like 3 times, get all your health back, all your temp HP back. So shields are a bit more niche to use, but they are definitely good. You just have to have like a specific purpose, a specific thing you're trying to do with them. So yeah, if you're not using shield weapons, Mason Sword is great to learn. I would say for a beginner, Mason Sword would be great to learn. Bretonnian Longsword also, and then Executioner Sword. I have a hard time saying which one is like absolutely better than the other. I'm trying to gather my thoughts on like, because people will ask me, they'll be like, what's the best weapon? What's Kruber's best weapon? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. They're all pretty good. Like, okay, if you don't have any DLC, I would recommend learning the one-handed sword. Now, this is not the easiest weapon to use, but it will teach you to use different combos for different situations, and it will teach you to think like a Vermintide player. If you have DLC, I would recommend learning Mason Sword, because that's a weapon that is pretty versatile and you have to use the right weapon combos to use effectively. Or if you decide that you just want to be an uber gamer and you're going to be the best at this game, I would say try to learn Halberd. It's gonna hurt, but dude, a good Halberd player is something to be reckoned with. Okay, Bardin, Halberd gang, rise up. Now, Bardin's weapons are a bit more straightforward. Dual Hammers is absolutely S tier, one of the best. Cog Hammer is also S tier, one of the best. I would say Dual Hammers is a bit more versatile than Cog Hammer. It's got more mobility, which is probably the biggest thing. Dual Hammers has more mobility, I mean. Yeah, Dual Hammers and Cog Hammer are the best. Other than that, man, it's like, okay, Dual Axes is pretty good on Slayer, specifically against Skaven, because look here, it doesn't have very much cleave. It has good damage and it has good armor damage, but it has like no cleave. So for that reason, it's specifically good against Skaven, and you like have to run Execute with it. But it does start to struggle a little bit against Chaos and definitely Beastmen. Yeah, the rest of these weapons, honestly, again, like the shield weapons are a niche use. Like they can both be used to great effect on Ironbreaker. Or if you're a special sniping class and you just want an option to get to make it so, you know, once you're done shooting specials, you want to just get into the horde and get your THP back. Shields are great for that. It's really no different here with Bardin. Other than that, like you're okay, if you're not doing dual hammers, you're not doing cog hammer, you're not doing dual axes, then probably your best option is the one-handed hammer or the Great Hammer. Like you can do some crazy stagger stuff with the Great Hammer on Ironbreaker, but I would say like Ranger Veteran, you probably want the one-handed hammer if you don't have DLC. One-handed hammer also great on Outcast Engineer, right? Like one-handed hammer is really good. It's just not quite on the same level as these other three. Dual hammer, cog hammer, dual axes. Man, there was a stream when I was doing like research for my Outcast Engineer guide, and I was doing everything I possibly could to try to make the Great Axe good, and I just couldn't do it, man. Great Axe can be good on Slayer though. If you're running Skull Splitter, it can actually be good on Slayer because you have enough attack speed to actually make the weapon work. But you need like a substantial amount of attack speed to make that weapon even worth picking. How is the pick looking? What class make the most of it? There are some pretty cheesy builds you can do on Slayer with the pickaxe, but it's, Gabe said it perfectly. It's like a worse cog hammer. You can make it work though. You can make pick work. Dual hammers, right? So the optimal dual hammers horde clear combo is light, heavy, heavy, but I'm on Slayer, so you can't see it as well, but there is a glaring weakness in that it is very slow. Here, let me get on Ranger Veteran so you can actually see. So yeah, if I don't have Swift Slaying, like this combo is extremely slow. It has a ton of stagger, a ton of cleave and everything, but it's really fucking slow. So generally what I do with dual hammers is I go up to the horde, I spam lights until I get Swift Slaying, and then I do light, heavy, heavy. And really, I'm only doing this when it's really safe. If I'm the only one in the front line, then I'm just spamming lights. Okay, and then for anti-armor dual hammers, you can just spam the first heavy. Block cancel. That will get the job done. A bit safer option is to do push attack heavy. But yeah, I think the heavy one, block cancel, is the highest DPS. That's dual hammers. The build for it is pretty standard. Crit chance, block cost reduction, swift slaying. I'm gonna get really good at saying that. Okay, cog hammer is like super simple. For hordes, you're just spamming lights, left clicking away. You want to throw in a push attack every now and then. The push attack is kind of meh. And then heavies for elites. Now this does massive damage on a headshot, so you want to really make sure you're trying to hit the headshot. People run is opportunist. The other traits just can't fucking compare. Like, this is like one of my, if I was going to critique the crafting in Vermintide, this is one of my main things. Like, Swift Slaying, you get 20% attack speed for 5 seconds. That's a lot of attack speed. Heroic Intervention is like, okay, you assist somebody and they get 15 THP. Now that's a decent amount of THP, but what the fuck does assisting mean? And how consistent is that? You know? Now parry could be good, I guess, if you want to just like turtle up, but that's nothing compared to 20% attack speed. And Resourceful Combatant, it's like, okay, you get 5% CDR on your ult, but it only happens every 4 seconds. Okay, I know there is one other use, okay? And that's with a Trollhammer Torpedo. The Trollhammer Torpedo, you can't use Conservative Shooter on it anymore. They threw that out because that was really broken. So now, on the Trollhammer Torpedo, you run off balance. That is the only instance I can think of where you are not running Swift Slaying or Opportunist. One-handed hammer, your horde clear combo is push attack light. Pretty safe. Can't go wrong with it. Pretty much the same as, it's like a slower version of the one-handed sword. For anti-armor, you're just going chain heavies. If you want to get real fancy, you can chain this second heavy into a light for some pretty good DPS. Like, it's not going to be more against armored enemies, but against like a mauler or something unarmored or like a boss, this is pretty good DPS. Scythe is good. I'll talk about Scythe later. I actually really like Scythe. Okay, I think that's all there is to Bardin's weapons, man. He doesn't have very, like, the weapons he has, the good ones are really good, but the other, like, I don't know. Axe is just like, man. Warpick is cheesy. Like, it has its uses. You could get away with it. But Cog Hammer is like definitively better. One-handed hammer is pretty good. It's like there's 3 tiers of Bardin weapons. At the top, there's dual hammers, Cog Hammer, and dual axes. And then the tier under that is like one-handed hammer and great hammer. And then the shield weapons are niche. And then like great axe, warpick, and axe are just not. I wouldn't recommend it. One-handed axe is okay too on Slayer. Interesting. I've never tried it. That's right. I remember Core made that video. He was like triple wield axe Slayer. That's an old one. God, I'm old. Now with Elf, there is one main weapon that is just what everybody uses over the others, and that is Sword and Dagger. It's good on Waystalker, it's good on Handmaiden, it's good on Shade, and it's good on Sister of the Thorn. It does everything. Like, it's pretty good elite damage, and it's really good horde clear. I mean, that's that's really all there is to Elf. Like, Sword and Dagger is your go-to 100% of the time. Now, if you're like me and you get bored of the Sword and Dagger, you also have the Elven Spear, which I really like. It's got good boss damage. It's kind of a meme. Every time I use the Elven Spear, I have to mention that it has good boss damage on this second heavy, and it has this this combo feels really good to use as a combo that's light, heavy. but it's not as good as sword and dagger. And then dual daggers is pretty good on shade, but again, sword and dagger is better. One-handed sword is pretty good as well, but not as good as sword and dagger. Dual swords, good luck trying to kill anything that has armor if you're not Sister of the Thorn. Glaive is way too slow. The only person that can get use out of it is Handmaiden when she's running Willow Stance. And then Shade can do some cheesy stuff with it for big boss damage. But okay, let's show you. I'll show you how to use the end-all be-all F weapon. So Horde Clear, the combo you're going for is Heavy Light. But again, like if I'm not playing Handmaiden, I find this kind of slow, so I like to just like spam lights until I get Swift Slaying, and then boom, we're in it. And then it's like pretty fast. If you didn't want to spam lights too to get there, you could also do the first 2 lights. Pretty good Horde Clear. Kind of awkward though. Okay, then for elites, you're doing push attack heavy. I suck at this combo. I don't know why, like particularly on Waystalker with the lack of attack speed. If I don't have Swift Slaying, like this combo just kicks my ass. Really good elite damage, but you should definitely be hitting headshots. Borderline broken weapon, it got nerfed, but it's still super good. I think, Gabe, you probably know this, is boss damage for... Oh, by the way, sword and dagger is a standard weapon that you run crit chance, block cost reduction, Swift Slaying. Dual daggers is your elite killing weapon on elf, so it's mostly good on shade. You can run on Sister of the Thorn as well. There's some, like you can put out some decent DPS with Sister of the Thorn. It's a fun build. Your Horde Clear for dual daggers. Horde Clear is just the spam lights. You want to make sure you're hitting headshots, okay? If you are not hitting headshots with dual daggers on Horde, you're doing nothing. You're barely getting anything done. No red dual daggers, yeah. I don't play enough elf, man. And then your elites, your elite killing combo is just heavies. Again, headshots, headshots, headshots. Even on shade, like you're not necessarily, when you're fighting Horde, you're not going for backstabs. Never go for backstabs on a Horde. Unless it's like at the very end, you're just cleaning up. Headshots, headshots, headshots. You do more damage with a headshot. See, like this light, oh my God. Light headshot, 52.25. Okay. Backstab, 31. Headshots, not backstabs. Now, dual daggers is one you want to build slightly different. I don't have it built correctly because I don't use them that much, but you want stamina here instead of crit chance. You want stamina, block cost reduction, Swift Slaying. That's because without it, you only have 2 shields. You only have 2 stamina. And you really need that extra stamina. Like you're already squishy as Shade or whoever you're using daggers on. All of the elf classes are pretty squishy. So yeah, you need that extra stamina in case shit goes bad. Fart, Elf Slayer. Okay, I'll show Spear too. Now, Spear is a standard weapon, crit chance, block cost reduction, Swift Slaying. Horde Clear combo. It's push attack, light, light. And when you start to run out of stamina, you can do this heavy, light, light. Honestly, I would try to avoid that though. I would honestly, instead of doing that, I would probably just like try to kite a little bit or even just do some lights because this heavy leaves you wide open, man. And then for boss killing and also anti-armor, you can either do light heavy. Light heavy probably has a little bit better DPS, but you can also do light heavy. I would say light heavy for armored. Other than that, light heavy. No one uses spear on Golden has not said a single thing in chat today, and then he comes back just to say that. Amazing. I'm so here for it. Spear hitbox is weird to me. Definitely needs to get used to. Yeah, that's why it's probably my most used elf weapon. That's probably why I like it. I'm used to it. I just got here. I summoned you by mentioning the elven spear. I just no like. It's totally cool. I just think that's hilarious. What is good build for spear? Feels kind of weird. Okay, so well, first of all, on the weapon, crit chance, block cost reduction, Swift Slaying. If you want to really try out the spear, I would say go Handmaiden. Do this talent build. Make sure you take Willow Stance and Azrai Alacrity, because you need this attack speed, and you're going to be doing push attacks a lot. So Azrai Alacrity is really good. And then get your dodge stances up. Get your dodge stacks up. Your Willow Stance stacks. And then boom, you actually have a pretty good Horde Clear combo. And then again, you're playing with range on these heavies. But again, you kind of have to have the attack speed. Thoughts on Shield and Spear on Handmaiden? Shield and Spear is totally fine. It's not as good as Sword and Dagger, but yeah, totally fine. Yeah, you take Opportunist on this, you stagger everything. It's probably the only elf weapon that will allow you to stagger a lot of things. So yeah, definitely worth taking. If you're gonna run Spear and Shield, yeah, you want Opportunist, crit chance, block cost reduction. You could probably hit some kind of breakpoint, maybe. Yeah, you could probably run, instead of crit chance, run Power vs. Skaven, and then Power vs. Well, let's see, then you'd have to get rid of Smiter. I don't know about that. Yeah, I would just probably run crit chance, block cost reduction, opportunist. Okay, all right. We're almost done. How far in are we? We're an hour and 20 minutes in. Holy shit. Okay. Let's actually look at Unchained for this. Okay, last but not least, certainly, Sienna. Now, she has some interesting melee weapons. I really like her melee weapons. Generally, her best are considered Fire Sword because Heavy One has infinite cleave. You can farm THP with that. And then there's also Dagger because it has really great mobility. I would say probably some of the best mobility in the game. You're taking notes? Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, Dagger has some of the best mobility in the game. Decent DPS. And then the Heavy One on the Dagger also has infinite cleave. It's not as good as Fire Sword because the hitbox isn't as good. But yeah, like Dagger has a lot of it puts a lot of tools in your repertoire. I'll talk more in depth about that. And then of course there is the Flaming Flail. This Heavy One on the Flaming Flail is absolutely broken on official. Like even on Cataclysm, you can stun lock a Chaos Warrior by doing this. So those are generally considered to be her best weapons. It's a shield bash. Yeah, it's a shield bash basically. And then I'm a fan of the Reaper. Now you kind of have to know what you're doing with it because it can really get you fucked. It can leave you wide open. And this is a newer weapon that the community hasn't really latched onto yet. Like most of these weapons have been being talked about for like 5 years, right? So, but you know, Reaper was added last year, maybe the year before. It was added when Necromancer was added. I don't know, time is just a blur. No, that was definitely more than a year ago. That was a lot more than a year ago. Okay, so I'll start with kind of what's considered the best. Mace is also good, by the way. I don't think it's... I think it's a little overrated, personally, but it's also... Like, people say that Mace is good as well. Fire Sword, your go-to is just this first heavy and block cancel. Now, this has infinite cleave. It will set everything it hits on fire. So that has really good synergy, both with Carve and Second Wind. I think now it might be more Carve. Carve might actually be better with it. So yeah, when you're horde clear with a Fire Sword, you're spamming the first heavy. Like you can kind of do this like light 1, light 2 combo, but like why are you doing that when you could just be staggering everything? Now for killing armored enemies, I would say probably, oh god, I don't know actually. Usually like when I would play Battle Wizard and there was an armored enemy, I would usually just do push attack light with headshots and that would kill them. Hold on, there's probably like an actual weapon combo you're supposed to use though, which by the way guys, for those of you watching right now, Royale with Cheese has a guide for all melee weapon combos. This is your Bible. Royale with Cheese has other guides as well. These are like, nobody has done better guides than Royale with Cheese because he's like, in some of these, he's like going into the code of the game. Okay, so let's look at this. Where's Fire Sword? Let's say Fire Sword, no Famished Flames. Okay, what are we looking for? We're looking for elites. Heavy, heavy, light, heavy, heavy, light, light. That's interesting. See, I've never used Fire Sword on anything that's not Battle Wizard. Okay, so Fire Sword, heavy, killing elites is heavy, heavy, light, light. Again, and headshot, headshot, headshot. Okay, I mean, that's pretty much it for Fire Sword. Like, the main thing you need to know is this spamming the first heavy. So yeah, Fire Sword, you actually want crit chance, block cost reduction, swift slaying. Or no, Dagger is actually my favorite Sienna weapon. So the cool thing about Dagger is like, I haven't talked about move tech at all, but it's actually important on the Dagger because it gives you mobility. Like, it's one of the best move techs in the game. It's push attack, light, light. You will actually be moving faster than your normal walking speed. Like, other ones that are worth noting is like on the Elven Sword and Dagger, it's push attack heavy. Yeah, the push attack heavy, the combo I hate. And then like you'll see people with the Mason Sword like doing this like light 1. I think it's actually supposed to be light 1 QQ swap. I can't see, like, I'm terrible at it. I can't even do it. Okay, but yeah, this push attack light light is good for getting around and really good for kiting bosses. And for horde clear, you have a few options with Dagger. First one being like, if you need to like really get some THP back, you can do this first heavy. It has infinite cleave, set everything on fire. Similar to the Fire Sword, but it is a little bit slower and it has a worse hitbox than the Fire Sword heavy. So if you don't want to do that, if you don't have space for that, then you can also just like spam lights. And again, with dagger weapons, you need to be hitting headshots. And then for elites, for armored enemies, you can either just do heavy heavy and hit headshots, or what I like to do is the push attack into heavy heavy to get that stab in there. Oh my god. Hello? How am I not hitting that? Like, come on, that's a headshot. Okay, and yeah, that along with the mobility from the dodge distance is really good. It's for me, like the dagger has a really good mix of complexity and simplicity, and also like again, it gives you tools in your repertoire. It gives you this move tech that's really good. It gives you this infinite cleave heavy to get your temp HP back, and then also like the horde clear is okay. It's good enough. Like it's good against Skaven because they're easy to hit headshots on consistently. Easier, I should say. And then the elite killing is like good enough. Do I have a flail that's actually built? Yes, I do. Okay, now to build dagger, you'll notice that like unlike the dual daggers, you actually have 3 stamina, which is a nice little thing they added to Sienna's dagger. Like you don't necessarily have to take stamina on it if you don't want. Now, if you want the extra security of having 2 more stamina, by all means do that, but I don't think it's that necessary. I would just go with quick chance, block cost reduction, swift slaying, heavy light. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to start using that. I just need Flaming Flail and Fire Sword dual weapon for Sienna as a new weapon. That would be so sick, dude. That would be so sick. Like the first heavy is like the like infinite cleave one, and then the second heavy is like the flail infinite cleave one. Could you imagine? Okay, let's do flail. Heavy one for the flail also has infinite cleave, but instead of kind of like this arc hitbox like the Fire Sword and the dagger, it's in a circle AoE, a sphere. Again, you can just stagger a Chaos Warrior forever like this. This is really useful against elites. Anytime you need to stagger a bunch of things, this is useful. You'll get a bunch of THP back too. This is good against both elites and horde. Like you could literally just do this the entire game on Cataclysm and you'd probably be fine. You'd probably never get hit. Horde clear is light 1, heavy, light, light, heavy, light, light. So that first light is really to just get you to the second heavy, and then you're doing heavy, light, light. So it's a little confusing. Light, heavy, light, light, heavy, light, light. And then you also like push attack is pretty good horde clear too. Like you could do push attack. Let's see. Oh my god. Like you could do push attack, light, 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 heavy, light, light, which is pretty crazy. This is Unchained, right? Yeah. Yeah, but this applies to any Flaming Flail class. But you can also just get away with like spamming heavies on a horde too. So it's kind of up to you, man. With the flail. The push attack's pretty good too. You could probably get away with just spamming lights. But again, this heavy is just really good. Yeah, you could also, yeah, you could just do light, heavy too. Oh wait, sorry. Light. Yeah, you could do light, heavy, block, cancel. But again, I'm kind of like, dude, you just like, I think you don't want to overthink it on flail, right? Like you have this to deal with a horde. You can just fucking do push attack and spam lights for a little bit, and then throw in a heavy and start doing the light, heavy, light, light, heavy. So you're like, I don't know. I feel like it's easy to overthink it when you can probably just do what feels right, you know? Again, it's a standard one, quick chance, block cost reduction, swift slaying. One-handed sword is actually pretty good too. I don't know if I want to talk about it though. I don't think I've ever used it. Is it just the same as Kruber? Oh no, it's the same. It's the same. See, yeah, okay. So that's something else you should know. The one-handed sword on Sienna is just the same as the one-handed sword on Kruber, and it's also good. But the last weapon I want to talk about is the Reaper. So the Reaper is a fucking weird weapon, man. For one, the attacks, like the layover time for an attack to chain into another is like really long. So if I want to do like heavy block cancel, that block cancel takes forever compared to other weapons. Like it's pretty snappy on other stuff. See, like I'm holding right click. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna hold a right click right now, and then it goes. So it can feel kind of weird, and like you can get yourself stuck into some weird combos. But it's got some good uses on specifically Unchained, and it like you can get some good use out of it on both Necromancer and Pyromancer as well. Get my attack speed up. So for horde clear, I generally, if you wanted to be really optimal, you would do heavy block cancel. But again, I hate that. It feels so sluggish and clunky. So another option you have is to do heavy, light, and those chain into each other. But those lights actually don't have very good cleave, so just be aware of that. But the first two heavies do. Another thing you can do is do this. So this is the weapon special. It's going to stagger everything around you. I think it will like soft stagger Chaos Warriors. It won't actually stagger them, only if they're not doing an attack. But out of this weapon special, you can actually do a light really fast out of it. The dummies being annoying. And that's a good way to get some quick damage out afterwards. But you can also do this into a heavy. And it's actually pretty fast. Here we go. Oh my god. See, it's a little jank. There we go. And you get a ton of THP for doing this. This is a great like tank tool for Sienna. So I like it particularly on Unchained. You have a few options for Horde Clear. Then for armor, generally the best DPS is going to be light, light, heavy. Block cancel. Sorry, here we go. Light, light, heavy, block cancel. Light, heavy, block cancel. Again, block canceling is really fucking weird on this weapon for some reason. So you could just do that last light, the like 4th light. So I would like this light, light, heavy, light, 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 heavy, light. And also another thing about the Reaper is that you may think you'd be able to spam heavies for Horde Clear, but the thing is, okay, there's 3 heavies. Okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now 3 is at a slightly different angle, right? It's a diagonal, and it doesn't have very good cleave. See this heavy 3? It has significantly less cleave. It's actually more of an armor killing, like an anti-armor attack. But the cleave isn't terrible. Like, you can get away with spamming heavies. It's just these first 2 lights are better for Horde Clear. And then you'll see like these last 2 light attacks have good, that's weird. It has good stagger cleave, but it has not good damage cleave. So that's why I say heavy, heavy, light, light is better for Horde Clear. Oh yeah, I need to, and then Reaper is also just another standard weapon. Crit chance, block cost reduction, swift slaying. Okay, goddamn, an hour and 40 minutes in. I'm finally done talking. I'm finally done yapping. Suppose we should actually play the game now, yeah?